All right. Hello, hello, hello. Let me get today's astrology here. Oh, it's already the 10th. All right, so Venus opposes Chiron this morning, and there can be disappointments as we focus on the differences and weaknesses rather than the strong points in our interactions. So just not to be scared, but just to be mindful that there can be misinterpretations. Temporarily, we're less confident about our relationships, social life, worth, money, or social skills. We are more aware and possibly resentful of imbalances in our relationship and insecure about whether our affections are reciprocated. So just being aware that there is that undercurrent of energy, and if that's how you're feeling, it's completely normal. The moon continues in bold Aries until 5:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when it enters the steady Taurus. Mercury enters Libra today, where it will stay until the 29th. Mercury first moved into Libra on August 25th, but turned retrograde on September 9th and retreated into Virgo on September 23rd. With Mercury now in Libra, we bring more rational approach to one-on-one relationships. It's a good time to think about improving our negotiation skills. While it's not time for hard work or getting down to the nitty-gritty, we're in good shape for mending fences, socializing, and harmonizing. We prosper by communicating more effectively and diplomatically, meditating, negotiating, and compromising. Our thinking is moderate. We avoid extremes of opinion, preferring to be fair to all involved. Something going on at home here, because every time I light a smudge, it just keeps going and going. You guys ever have that happen? Like, it just tells me that there's some kind of, it's probably upstairs, let's be honest. Okay. Let's just have a look at the Schumann. I mean, the Schumann from Russia is not showing anything too significant at all. The Italian one has been showing some spikes because of the solar flares, but it's not being reciprocated in the, that's hot. What on earth was I thinking? Okay. There we go. Okay, so what is attachment? What is an attachment style? A person's attachment style is their specific way of relating to others in relationships. According to attachment theory, first developed by psychologist Mary Ainsworth and psychiatrist John Bowlby in the 1950s. So we've had attachment style since the 1950s. Attachment style is shaped and developed in early childhood in response to our relationships with our earliest caregivers. Essentially, our adult attachment style is thought to mirror the dynamics we had with our caregivers as infants and children. And this is so, so important to understand that there is nothing wrong with us. You know, if you're experiencing relationships and they're not the quality of relationships that you would like, and you're feeling stuck and you don't understand why, a lot of the time it's going to be this. Attachment styles includes the way we respond emotionally to others, as well as our behaviors and interactions with them. That's how important this is. I had done a lot of knowledge, searching, and a lot of, trying to heal my trauma. And this was a really extremely pivotal part of my healing, understanding what it was and how to move, because you're not stuck in a specific attachment style. So the 4 attachment styles are, so we have secure attachment. Secure attachment styles refers to the ability to form secure, loving relationships with others. A securely attached person can trust others and be trusted, love and accept love, and get close to others with relative ease. They are not afraid of intimacy, nor do they feel panicked when their partners need time or space away from them. They can depend on others without becoming totally dependent. About 56% of adults have a secure attachment type. This is according to the foundational attachment research by social psychologist Cindy Hazan. So that's 56% of adults. That's not a lot when you think about society. That's actually kind of scary. So next we have, and when you start to look into this, you're going to see different types of attachment style, but there are some basic ones. These are basic ones. So number 2 is anxious attachment. Anxious attachment style is a form of insecure attachment style marked by a deep fear of abandonment. Anxiously attached people tend to be very insecure about their relationships, often worrying about their partner will leave them, and thus they are always hungry for validation. Anxious attachment is associated with neediness or clingy behavior, such as getting very anxious when your partner does not text back fast enough, or constantly feeling like your partner does not care enough about you. And there's varying levels of this. And then there's avoidant. Avoidant attachment style is a form of insecure attachment style marked by the fear of intimacy. So they're both fear of intimacy. People with avoidant attachment style tend to have trouble getting close to others or trusting others in relationships. They typically maintain some distance from their partners or are largely emotionally unavailable in their relationships, preferring to be independent and rely on themselves. And this is to an extreme. Independency is healthy. It's actually really important, but you go to extremes in avoiding true intimacy. Both of these are an avoiding a fear of intimacy. So there's one's searching for it too hard, and the other one is avoiding it altogether. And one of them is, searching about it in the wrong way. But the underlying for all of these is the fear of intimacy. It's scary. So fearful avoidant attachment. Fearful avoidant, otherwise known as disorganized attachment. You'll see that there's different names for it, but fearful avoidant or disorganized attachment style is a combination of both the anxious and avoidant attachment styles. People with fearful avoidant attachment both desperately crave affection and want to avoid at all costs. They are reluctant to develop close romantic relationships, yet at the same time, they have the dire need to feel loved by others. Fearful avoidant attachment is also known as disorganized attachment, and it is exceedingly rare and not well researched. But we do know it is including heightened sexual behavior and increased risks for violence in the relationship and difficulty regulating emotions in general. So a lot of these people are that do experience fearful, avoidant, or disorganized are people that are experienced a high level of trauma, people that haven't healed it. A majority of us will have one specific type of attachment style or the other. Mine tends to be anxious. I wouldn't say so much now. I've really quite leaned into vulnerability and intimacy and that kind of stuff. So I am more closely to a healthy attachment style now. And that was pivotal to my healing journey altogether. So if you want to check out what attachment style you are, and I will make sure that this is in the comments. Hold on. So if you're, hello, if you're looking to find out what kind of attachment style you are, oh, I'm so sweaty, forgive me. That's so funny. If you're looking to move into understanding yourself on a deeper level, this is pivotal. This is so important on so many different levels, because ultimately our experience when we were children, and there's nothing wrong if you have a completely healthy lifestyle and it comes down to how available your parents were. Did your mother constantly hold you? And a lot of the higher generations from myself, was born in 84, and anybody above that, they were taught not to coddle their children, was what the belief was. And through a lot of research and therapy, it was proven that that is actually doesn't allow a child to develop healthy connections. Because what we need in that environment when we're babies, when we are first growing up, is we're completely reliant on our parents, and we need to be able to trust that when we cry, they're going to be there for us. That builds somebody that's confident in the world. That builds somebody that knows that when they're hurting or they're in pain, that somebody's going to be there. When we're left to just cry it out, which a lot of older generations left their children because they believe that was good for them, not to hurt them. Or you had a family member that was not emotionally available enough, you lacked that one-on-one connection. And that's so detrimental, because what happens when a mother or father looks in their baby's eye is endorphins are released, and endorphins are like the opiate of the brain. It is our chemical of love. So it's important to our development to have those healthy connections. So, as you know, over 50% of us do not have a healthy attachment style. And if you've been wanting to move into creating healthier connections and experience intimacy, I had a big desire to have this connection with somebody. But what I didn't realize until later on, when I started really searching out healing, was I was terrified of it. Like, it literally scared the bejesus out of me. One story I love to tell was, I have this friend that I met through an online dating app. He's happily married now, but at the time we were kind of we were exploring seeing each other, and I found him so fascinating. He was on the autistic spectrum, and I'm a person that loves knowledge. Like, I just can't get enough of it. So our friendship was really good, because he had like a vast amount of knowledge about like reading body language and understanding the world that way. And he loved hearing my intuitive nature, because he didn't have that part. So he learned how to exist, essentially masking his autism by reading body language at a really extremely high level. So we would talk about it and talk about it. So he invited me over one time. This was probably about 5 years ago. And he made me this beautiful dinner. It was like this lamb dinner, and we had wine and we were talking, and it was just such a lovely, lovely, lovely dinner. And we moved to the couch, and I didn't know that his mother, trigger warning. So if you guys have severe triggers, I would just jump off of this video, and then you can, hop back on when you feel that you're not going to get, completely triggered. And I don't mean like you're going to feel emotional towards it. I mean triggered, like you'll actually go into PTSD when you listen to this. So my mother committed suicide in 2017. She had enough pain and anguish, and I had to plan her funeral, etc. And we were sitting on this couch, and he experienced his mother taking her own life too. And we were like sitting towards each other, drinking wine, and he was telling me this, and I just remember like feeling so connected, and it was great. And then he went to get up to go to the washroom, and I don't know whether it was that he disconnected. I suddenly just was like, I'm so uncomfortable. I need to get out of here. And I was totally fine while we were talking. It was when he disconnected and went to the bathroom. And I just went into this utter panic. I remember like I have to get out of here. Like I literally have to get out of here. So he came out of the bathroom, and this is how severe my attachment style used to be. I had my jacket on and my purse, and he was like, oh, and like, remember, he doesn't understand a lot of social aspects. So he was like, your body language is freaking me out. I don't understand. And I was like, I have to go. And I put my shoes on and literally ran down the hallway. I got home and I sat there and I was like, why did I just do that? And this was what spurred me getting into attachment theory, because I just had to dive into why I did that, because I was enjoying myself. I was having a moment that fueled my soul. It was true, honest vulnerability, honest connection, and it terrified the crap out of me. And I messaged him the next day and I apologized. And I said, hey, I think that I might be a little scared of intimacy. That was really intense for me, and he was totally fine with it. That's why we're friends, because he's amazing. But that was what spurred me into attachment. Disorganized here. Glad to hear you talk about it, as I know it was eliminated in the more recent attachment theory. Fearful avoidant attachment still heavily resonates with me. However, John Bowlby was spot on, at least for me. I don't believe that it should be eliminated, because I was disorganized attachment. Like for sure, I experienced really, really, really severe trauma, like really severe. My mother was never there. My mother was leaving me as a little tiny baby. In really dangerous situations. I was just really lucky that my poor little brother, well, big brother, he was little at the time, did his best to try to look after me as a baby. So I had disorganized attachment. I moved from disorganized attachment to anxious attachment to now into a healthier attachment. I would say I'm healed. I don't want to ever, come into here as a coach and pretend like I've healed everything in my life. It's a work in progress, but I had this feeling where it was like I desired connections with others, and then I would push them away really hard. So I was definitely a disorganized attachment, and I was very much at war with myself. And usually disorganized has a very severe tendency towards addiction. And I think that the reason that I didn't end up in addiction is because my body dissociates on such a severe level that it kept me safe. That was my coping mechanism. So as I continue to move down the road of recovery for myself, part of that is becoming more present in all different types of moments. But you're in the right space, Brittany. It sounds like you know a lot about this. So I'm glad that you are up on the knowledge of everything. It's something that I bring into my mentorship and my coaching big time, is really how to cultivate intimacy and healthy connections. We talk of, we have a whole lesson on communication and creating intimacy. We have a whole lesson on vulnerability, on attachment styles. There's two. There's one learning the attachment styles in really deep detail. And then there's one about how to move into actually creating a healthy and secure, because it's really lonely when you have attachment injuries, and it is the core behind everything. If you have unhealthy relationships and you keep repeating those patterns, it's not just the other people, it's you, and there's nothing wrong with you, but once you understand, there's such a light bulb moment, and there's so much power in that, being able to start, moving in with knowledge and creating your own boundaries and your own safety as to how and when and how fast to start moving into a secure attachment style. I read I sent you a link from Diane Poole-Heller, because she has spent over 30 years researching in the therapy of attachment injuries. And I read a really in-depth book on attachment styles and stuff, and I resonated so strongly with it. For me, it was really life-changing. So if you are looking to read or listen to an audiobook, Diane Poole-Heller is very life-changing. She's very reputable, somebody that you can rely on for the information. She has incredible knowledge. So what are some of the circumstances that lead to each of the 4 attachment types? Secure attachment, caregivers are responsible and attuned to their child's needs. So attune, knowing when your child needs to be held, knowing when it's time to put them down to sleep, when it's appropriate. Anxious attachment, caregivers are inconsistent, unpredictable with affection, sometimes overly involved, and intermittently withdrawn. It is the unpredictable fluctuations between caregivers, giving emotionally available and then distance, that leads children to be anxious about their future relationships. So in my case, it was, my mom was very attentive when she was there, and when she wasn't, I was searching, and that's kind of what bred into that. Avoidant attachment. Caregivers are not responsible, but are dismissive and often distant. They consistently emotionally disconnect from their child, resulting in the child believing that their needs won't get met. This breeds somebody that gets fiercely independent to the point of not being able to create any connections at all. Fearful avoidant attachment, the type of an environment that influences disorganized attachment, involves a caregiver who is frightening or traumatizing, leading the child to experience a deep sense of fear and a lack of trust in others, despite wanting close connections. They may be neglectful or even abuse. The child develops a poor understanding of boundaries and is confused about what healthy relationships look like. So detrimental. You'll be able to answer it right away if you have an attachment injury just by listening to that. If you want to discover and go further, I definitely can help you move into a more healthier environment in life. I do have specific healing coaching packages. I most of the time will just recommend that you take the entire quantum healing, just because it offers you the whole array of, wanting to better your life. So it just depends on what you're looking for. I have many different options available. But if you want to dive into this in really healing in a deep way, this is a pivotal part of it. I do angel healings and Reiki healings and all the other energetic, alignment stuff, because that does come along. Your root chakra is very much your safety zone. So if your root chakra is imbalanced or blocked, you will not feel safe in the world no matter what you do. So I help on that level as well. So that's kind of how my programs work is, that's why my business name is Mind, Body, Soul Healings. We help heal the mind, the body, and the soul, bringing it all together. It isn't just, spiritual, energetic healing. It is actual therapy-based knowledge and application. It is energetics. It is helping you rewire your mind and operate in a different way. So we kind of use all the tools together. So this was my inspired message today is the attachment styles. If you are unfamiliar, definitely hop on over to Jennean Heller. Get any one of her audiobooks if it's something that you would like to do on your own. It definitely takes you a lot longer. I was very stubborn for a long time about not wanting to work with somebody just because I wasn't sure how to manifest the money. And then I had to get to a point where my resistance to where I was in life got bad enough where I was willing to just do whatever. So I am calling in my soul tribe here. So those of you that need the healing on all the levels, those of you that want to heal your trauma and want to heal your life so that you experience that connection and that intimacy that your soul is calling you to experience. I help you shift your mindset. It's not just about your mindset. When you need these things healed, it isn't about strong arming your mindset into a positive mindset and therefore your life completely changes. It does really help. And I'm not down talking that, but it's all of these different pieces together. And, I'm starting to move into helping, with our mentorship, we did chakra menu for, I think it was 12 weeks. 1, 2, yeah. No, it was 7 months I did it. I did it for 7 months and 1 month for each chakra. And they got, full on dinner chef of 17 years, menus that were good, that were chakra friendly. Stay tuned because I will be releasing a really, really in-depth chakra. That's probably going to be later next year. I will be releasing a chakra course that has a recipe book with menus in it. You will have videos that you can go through where I will actually practically cook in front of you, and all of the knowledge that I've learned over the last 15 years over chakras. So that's coming, down the line, one step at a time though. So if you have been feeling the call to work with me on a one-on-one setting, I can really help guide you into, the space in life that you are looking to make. These are big shifts that we make. A lot of these people that have taken my mentorship are completely different people, drastically from the 12 months that they took it before. As you can see from some of the references that they gave or reviews, that's, I guess it's a reference in my mind. It was very life-changing for them. There was a lot of things that they didn't know about their life, a lot of things about communication in their relationship, triggers, how to set healthy boundaries. And it's not just knowledge that I'm giving you, it's like practical applications that actually help you, guide you when you end up in those moments where you need to, calm your body, or you need to set a boundary and you are unsure. You have me as your one-on-one guide. So if you would like to, I offer discovery calls. So those are just simply an opportunity for the two of us to meet, to discover whether it's right that we both work together. I am not somebody that's going to just work with anybody, because I am calling in my soul tribe. Like, the person has to really be ready. And that's what the discovery call is, seeing if it's for your highest and best interest. I am not somebody that's just going about sales at all. I come from a heart space, and I come from wanting to help the right people who are ready, who are magnetized to me, to this space for a reason. So no fears in doing a discovery call. I also just, ask a bunch of questions, and then I will tell you the different opportunities, because I have higher packages, I have smaller packages, I have services that can help depending on what it is that you're looking for. So it's just gives me an opportunity to tell you what I think is going to be best, and then I kind of give you a little tune in and a little channel guidance. So it's actually really fun. I love discovery calls. I think that they're an awesome way to connect our energies and really discover. So as we're moving on down this line, I will be creating today, over the next few days, the solar eclipse portal is open now. So I will be tailoring and getting ready a workshop that's going to help us really designated, that's not the right word, intentionally create the shifts that we would like to create in our life, because with this full moon, it will be 6 weeks of really powerful transformational energy that's coming up. It's already open now because the full moon was last night and we're in it. So I want to take advantage of that, and I want you all to have the opportunity to create intentional shifts, using rituals and guided process. So I will be creating a workbook here pretty soon to help you to shift through these eclipse portal in the best and highest interest. So stay tuned with that. That is on the 25th, I believe. Let me check to make sure I'm saying the right thing. Yep, it's on the 25th. We're right. So thank you for joining me, Brittany. It was really nice to see you on here. Herbie, it was really nice to see you on here. And I know I seen Christy at one point. It was really nice to see you too, Christy. Have a great day, you guys. I will see you tomorrow for tomorrow's inspired messages. Have a good day. Oh, hold on. I'm going to put the, before I leave, I'm going to give you guys the, nope, we're in the wrong space. I was going to put that in Zoom. That's fine. So that is my link. You can choose whatever discovery call that you feel called to do. It is essentially an hour-long session where we kind of get into the nitty-gritty of, where you are in life, what it is that you would like to work on. And that just helps me to really offer, be it Reiki, be it a Chiron reading, be it Oracle reading. I use intuitive skills to discover what it is that's going to best suit you. So don't hesitate and don't be scared. There is no pressure. You're never going to get pressure sales from me at all. So I'm all about magnetism. So when you feel called, you'll know it. Listen to that call, because it's happening for a reason. It's your time to shine. All right, everybody, have a good day.